Hello and welcome to TCS Consulting. My name is Maurice Bludorn. I am your host. On this platform, we really focus on leadership development and organizational development in the sense that we asking you to think in a different way, to own your leadership, whether you are showing up in your life, your career, or your business. We want to give you some ideas, some perspectives, some tips, some methodologies that you could use to apply in on your job, and if you have your own business in developing your business. And we're taking terms that are used in organizations in their corporate settings, and we're saying to you as an individual, these are some of the concepts and ideologies that you should be personally yourself. Case in point, we're talking today about high performance leaders, high performance teams. We're also going to be talking about succession planning. Succession planning really focuses on executive leadership, and how, if anything happens to them, that there is a succession of leadership that can automatically step in and take their position. Well, think about it in a common way. How we should be doing that in our homes with our families. We should be having succession planning. That's called talking about life insurance policies. We're about talking about how you have to have all your documents in order. Well, that's a part of succession planning, preparing for your absence, in the sake of your absence, that someone could come up and automatically know where everything is, what you were doing, and how to get it done. Same thing with high performance teams. A lot of times, leaders, we don't think that we need a high performance team. And what is the concept behind a high performance team is that they all drink the Kool-Aid, so to speak. They have group think. They see the total vision, and they show up like that in every area and aspect of their performance to ensure that the leader's vision, that the common goal is met, and not only just met, but met on a higher level of expectation. And so I want to, my goal here is to make sure that we understand these concepts and that we are applying them so that we ourselves can be more effective in how we show up in our life, our career, and our business. Take Agent owning it with me today is Dr. Madeline Lewis and Jacqueline Lulu Brown. And so, ladies, we are here. We are talking to the everyday leader. We are talking to that individual who's looking to advance themselves in their career. We're also looking to that individual who is building a team for their business, right? And so, leadership, sometimes too often, we take for granted our role in leadership, and we don't understand the some opportunity that we have to not only strengthen ourselves as leaders, but also to empower those who are under us to strengthen themselves as leaders. So we're going to take 2 points today. We're going to talk about high performance teams, but we're also going to talk to the leader in regards to how important that leader has to have balance, how they have to retreat, to refresh, and to reset. So we're going to hit on both of those areas. So, Dr. Lewis, I know that you coach executive women, those who are already in, also those who are strategizing, trying to figure out how they're going to do this. Why
Mhm.
would it be important for them to think about building their team? Because as they rise up, teamwork does make the dream work. And we don't realize that we need to do a needs analysis, right? We need to know what our needs are as a leader. And we talked about SWOT analysis, but we need to know the SWOT analysis so that we can hire folks or work with individuals who strengthen our weak areas,
Mhm. Mhm.
our need for development areas, and then we can also have that perspective that takes a threat and turns it into an opportunity. So, share your perspective on how important is it for us to take high performance teams from that place of elite or a discussion that's a way off and make it our own discussion and our own ambition.
Well, one of the things I think is you definitely need to have a team because I remember when I was in the workplace, one of the things that was always important to me is to make sure not only that I have contacts in other departments, but to make sure that the people that were working with me in my office, they had their own specialties. And I did not try to micromanage. Because if that was it's I think it's important that you know a little bit about these things so that when they're talking to you, you're not sitting there like, looking like there's a deer in the headlight or something. But you don't have to be the expert if you have an expert on your team. You let that person do what they do. That's why you create a team, because you can't do everything by yourself. That's like, what's the saying, jack of all trades? You're not the jack of all trades, and you really don't want to be a jack of all trades. That's why you build a team. You bring on those people that will support you. You support them. Make sure that you're doing that, because they're on your team, but they're not there for you to squash them down. They're also there for you to build them up as team members. But it's really important to have a team so that and it takes a lot of stress off of you. I mean, think about it. If you have a team, then you're not trying to handle everything. You don't have all those balls juggling in the air trying to catch all of them. And some of them are definitely going to fall because you can't catch them all of them, once they start coming down. Okay. So yeah, it's very important to have a team. You just, like I said, you can't do it by yourself. You shouldn't try. And especially as you get higher on up that ladder, you definitely need people that are on your team, that'll support you, that you can support, that will help you grow and you help them grow, because that's the way the organization will grow, by doing that.
Yes. Yes, because we talk about it's LMX, leader member exchange. When you are having a relationship with your team, and just
Mhm.
like you said, seeing their value, don't micromanage them because they are subject matter experts. That's why you hired them in the first place.
Exactly.
Company hired them, and that's why they're put in their position. And they
Hmm.
help you to relax. And we're going to talk about why that's important too, because so many are burning out. We're talking about mental health and wellness, and we're talking about
Yes.
the large percentage of people who are experiencing burnout. And I know that
Hmm.
Jack Lulu speaks to that, getting burnt out. But
Hmm.
this is why it's important to have a high performance team, because high performance team members, they really, really excel in their performance. It's very important for them the goal done. And there is a level of personal relationship. So they understand
Hmm.
there's a removal of politics. There's a removal of politics. And
Hmm.
they focus on the bigger picture. And that's the difference just from just having a team and having a high
Hmm.
performance team. And I don't think that we are realizing just how important that is in regards to how the team and that leader shows up for the organization, which impacts
Hmm.
their as professionals, but it also impacts the overall performance of the organization. And so, Jacqueline, speak to that.
Yes. Thank you for me being here today. Can you guys hear me okay?
Hmm.
Okay, great. Here's a couple of things that make this so critical. There are, when you're grooming folks for succession planning and you want to have that high performing team, everyone's not always going to be in the same place. So you're going to have folks that are going to be ready in, let's say, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. And it's important to recognize that, because if we don't recognize where people are versus trying to put them where we think they fit, and so there takes, and you talk about SWOT analysis and things like that. And what we don't want to get lost in there is the behavior studies, the what are the individual strengths? Because very often, sometimes organizations are only looking at, okay, what is the strength of my team? And they're looking at it from the perspective of, okay, I have to have all these things, and everybody has to have all these things. And when you take and go more to an individual level, and I'm going to say you go to a cultural level, because culture consciousness in building high performance teams is, especially succession planning is very important, because every culture brings a unique talent to the table. And we are really in a paradigm shift in this time in the world at large, because there's a lot that is happening, has happened, and I'm going to say the old sort of, I'll say the old book of sort of guidelines. This is what you have to do to have a successful team, and succession planning that has evolved. And if the leader has not evolved with it, and they're not tapping into things like behaviors, cultural consciousness, individuality, what does someone as an individual bring to the team? And they may not have something else that's needed for the team, but do you recognize that another individual has that? And instead of trying to make everyone master of everything, or as you said, jack of all trades of everything, but master of nothing. But if you go to that level, and I say this with, I'm going to say a jolly heart, because these are sometimes difficult conversations to have, but they're really important. And I think if we can just lighten up and really see how it's important, it's serious, but it's also a lot of fun to recognize the unique talents and the differences, because you will wake up and you will have a team that outperforms every other team. And I say that from experience, from having worldwide responsibility. So I would just say, don't try to pigeonhole when you're going through these processes. Look at the individual as well as the organization, as well as the team, as well as the leaders where they are, and look for unique things that strengthen the team overall. And people use the word weaknesses. I don't like to prefer to use that, but that's the word that we use. If you see a weakness, find the strength in another individual and partner that individual with that individual and let them operate in their strengths. Because by the force of nature and human nature, guess what? The one that has the strength is going to connect with the one that has the weakness, and vice versa. So these are just some of the things that are so important, especially when we're in this totally different world with AI. And that's a whole nother conversation. Yeah. But, this is why these are the roots of leading up to where we are, that we change things now and we begin to embrace things differently with a different lens and a different view.
Yes, awesome. Yes. And that's so important. So when you talked about it, you back right? In order for you to assess, you have to observe. And I love it because I'm a people watcher. So I'm always watching people. And then you're looking at, just like you said, their uniqueness. What are they bringing to the table? Where
Mm-hmm.
can we have these different skill sets, these different expertise, co, you know, collaborate together, cohabitate together, and then bring results. And you talked about too, you have to engage your people. You have
Mm-hmm.
about what they care about. And that's the emotional intelligence, that's the EI, right? And a lot of times we take that for granted, but it has to be that's the holistic approach of LMX. You have to have that EI involved in that. You have to care about your people if you want your people to care about your agenda as a leader. And so that's interaction, taking time to interact, to see them, and so that you can properly assess how you're going to cause them to operate together as a team and work together as a team. You talked about diversity, which is so critical to understanding diversity, because we're globalized now. There is no looking back. We are globalized. And so it's important for us to embrace diversity, embrace different perspectives, because different perspectives have different innovative ideas. They bring out different creativity abilities. And then so when you take the time to understand and embrace, you get acceptance. Now there's acceptance. Oh my God, I accept your different perspective. I have my own perspective, but I accept. So you enter into acceptance, and then in acceptance, you develop appreciation, and you have respect. for the diversity, right? Because now you're seeing the value of it. You're seeing the value of the differences and what they can bring to the table. Just think, if you don't hinder someone, if you allow their time, what could you discover that you would not have if you had a
Right.
closed mindset? And so that's why it's so critically important for us to do this. And as we do this as leaders, and as we, like Dr. Lewis said, don't micromanage them. Allow them. I love creating. I'm a CEO. I like producing other CEOs. When you come
Mhm,
to my
mhm,
table, I'm looking at you as an equal because I don't want you to be my subordinate. I want you to go out and branch. Like I said, I want you to be fully liberated and unleashed.
mhm.
So if I want you to be fully liberated and unleashed, I got to give you that space to do that as a leader. That means as a leader, I have to be self confident. I have to know who I am, that you're not a threat to me, that you're actually
Right.
an asset to me. And if I let you flourish, then I can chill out. And guess what? I can retreat to refresh and reset. And when I come back, I can come back stronger for my team. So
Absolutely.
we're going to shift gears into the importance of Dr. Lewis. I know you have your retreats. Why critically important? I realized this year, I had an aha moment that heart disease is the number one killer of women. And so heart disease is because we're not letting our heart chill out. We're not letting our heart rest because
Mhm.
we're trying to be in control and we're trying to handle everything. And we've not gotten to a place that we could be so secure and confident in ourselves that no one is a threat to take anything that belongs to us in our absence. So, Dr. Lewis, would you share with our audience why is it important for retreat? I'm going to tell you, ladies, I went yesterday looking at some places for us to have our retreat. I checked out this beautiful treehouse location at the hotel. It's got like 24 tree houses in it. Oh my God, the backdrop is breathtaking. And I'm thinking, like, these women they need to come here and tranquilla, chill the heck out because they're too stressed out. Talk to that. Why do they need that? Why is this not an option? It is a necessity.
Oh, absolutely. Most of the retreats that I like to do is that type of retreat where the ladies just come and just relax. I don't bring in speakers for the retreats. If I'm going to do something like that, I'll have a conference. But if I'm doing a retreat, I like to bring them in and just so that they can relax. Like, for example, my last one that I had, I rented a house and on the lake and we just had a fantastic time. I mean, the ladies were able to go out. I had someone there, they did yoga. We had someone there that set up a boutique where they could go shopping. And I mean, they did all that. But most importantly, they got to relax, you know. And one lady told me she came in and she told me, she said she had just come off an 18-hour shift and she the first day she was there she slept the whole day. She said I needed this. That's what she said. She said I really needed this. She says because basically all she's been doing is just working and working. And my thing is, you have to fill your cup first. Because if you don't, then you can't be of help to anyone else. If you don't refresh yourself continually, you know, take that time for self care. And, you know, even just yesterday, I had to laugh because I was headed to, even though I got this thing on my head, I was headed to the hairdresser to get my hair washed and everything styled. And I just posted on Facebook about hair self care because, you know, even it's just those little things really that make us happy. It's the little things, and so that's why the retreats that I do are more for wellness than anything. It's like relax, just come and relax, relate, and rejuvenate and refresh. That is always the theme of the retreats that I do. And I'm listening to you with that treehouse thing. I'm thinking,
Oh,
oh,
but that
we
let
need
me
to do
tell you,
that.
and that's only the say to you. I saw properties with Xfinity pools that you just see the drop of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
palm trees and the Caribbean Sea, and
Mhm.
it is breathtaking. And it's just like we take this life for granted. We
Yeah.
so busy trying to control things that already belong to us. And if they
Hmm.
don't belong to us, let it go.
Hmm.
Stop, because you're going to kill yourself in the process.
Yeah, help
It's
everybody, be all to everybody. You
stress.
can't do that all the time.
No, you can't be on all the time. And then I see our upcoming generation. Sometimes I'm having conversations with people, and I can see you're on. You're not on stage. You're not pitching. Why don't you
Hmm.
have a normal conversation? Can I just talk to you, not to what you're trying to sell or what you're trying to be?
Right.
People
Yeah.
don't know how to disconnect.
Yes.
They have to have their phones with them. And when I
Yeah.
look up at the table, everybody is in
That
their
is
ear,
pet peeve. Pet peeve.
here in the present. So we have chosen, Jacqueline and I have chosen to, because we know this is a necessity, have chosen to have routine, regularly scheduled retreats. And the reason why is because everybody's schedule fluctuates. Everybody's
Mhm.
got an excuse. They got an excuse
Yeah.
for not taking care of themselves. So listen, with me, I'm taking out all the excuses. You ain't got no excuse. We make
Hmm.
it affordable. It's reasonable. The DR is not, you traveling internationally, but you're not going too far. It's not a major travel,
Right.
and it's cost effective. But we have to retreat. We have to get away from our house, our kids,
Oh
everything,
yeah.
and we need to
Absolutely.
retreat and get away and set a time aside for ourselves, because before you know it, you're gone, and you're
Hmm.
gone because of stress. My mom was gone at 52 years old, and I don't believe that it was colon cancer that took it. I, she was such a giving person, and some people are just so taking. They take so much that
Yeah.
if you don't create that boundary, that you will allow
Absolutely.
yourself to be burnt out. And I believe that that's more so what
Hmm.
happened with my mom than
Hmm.
anything. And so as a result, me observing,
Yeah.
assessing, and
Hmm.
addressing as her
Hmm.
daughter,
Hmm.
I said,
Hmm.
no way. I am going to create that boundary that says that when I left, I walked out of corporate when she passed away. I said, you know what? I'm the one running back and forth. And when my kids got sick, it was my mom that went and got them. So I'm with somebody, a partner who does not see that I work a corporate job and you work a demanding job. What's going to happen here? Our kids are going to raise themselves. So I sacrificed. I
Yeah.
sacrificed my career and said, I'm going to be home with my kids. I created my own business because I am a businesswoman, but
Hmm.
we have got to make ourselves a priority. If you can't afford to
Absolutely.
get your nails done, do them yourself. Take time.
Absolutely.
I do my
Hmm.
own nails because I have a crazy hour schedule, so I'll do my own. And I love doing that. I grew up doing my own nails. So, and
Hmm.
not only that,
Hmm.
I don't put the nails on anymore. I love it. I love it. I love it. But we have got to retreat, to refresh and reset
Yes.
so that
Yes.
we don't pour out to people in a cup that's on empty. And remember, when you drive your car, you don't ever want your car to get down to empty, because all of that else
Yep.
is now
Yep.
going into your engine, right? So we don't want
Yep.
to do that. So Jacqueline, I'm gonna tap you in and say, why would they come? Because you got Aruba coming up, you got Morocco coming up. Come
Oh,
on,
I
there's a
go.
reason.
Yes, we have the DR because we do have a retreat that is really specialized on even helping people to retreat, and they're going to retreat through some writing, and that's in the DR. And then, yes, there's Aruba, and then there's Morocco. But I want to tap into something that you said that was key, and you talked about the gasoline and the things like that that you got to keep. You can't run half empty.
Hmm.
And then there's this piece that goes along with that. What about the other mechanisms in the car that have to be cared for? So I just want to provoke thought for a second. And I want to take people's imagination that you got a full tank of gas, but the car sputters a lot
Hmm.
because your spark plugs are burned out.
Hmm.
The oil is dirty. When you go to check the oil and you pull the stick back, it's black. And it's not supposed to be black. So you haven't had an oil change. So think about your heart. and the rest that it hasn't had. Think about those things. Think about your spark plugs. Think about your energy level,
Mhm.
because you can have a full tank of gas and we know we need it, but then the rest of the pieces are falling apart.
Yep.
You're riding on bald tires. You're
Wow.
about to skid off the road. Yeah, one of my gifting, I had a wild imagination, so I could take you there,
Oh, honey, that's
so
good.
that you can see it through a different lens. When your tires are bald and rain comes in all of our lives, now we're sliding and skidding all over the place, crashing and burning, because the essential things that we should have, we don't. And so that's why this is so important. And I'm going to say something, and it is no denigration or insult, but we've got to really get real. I want everyone to ask, where are you investing? We understand we've got to do the home and the children and the family.
Hmm.
But if someone tells you that you can go and Dr. Lewis, Dr. Madeline, I like the Blue Ridge Mountains as well. I
Hmm.
like those intimate retreats. We were all the way in Dubai, but there was really only 12 of us because it was nice and intimate.
Right.
And so I would say, where are we investing our money? Because you're going to pay one way or the other. Do you want to pay on the front end and operate in the higher dimensions and still have your success? Or do you want to operate in the grind, neglecting yourself with some success, but with the success comes dis-ease, disease from the neglect? I love, Lord knows, I love to shop. If you can shop, I think you should shop.
Oh yeah.
But are you buying that $600 pair of, I don't know, red bottoms? Are you buying that very expensive dress because of the name of the dress? Or are you investing in you?
That
And
part.
it could be a retreat, it could be a development coach. Are you investing in you so
Hmm.
that you can go to, I don't know, Rainbow and get a $20 dress, but because of what you've done for you, you make the dress don't make you.
And that's
That right
exactly,
and
yes.
and people look at you and you look like $1 million. Why? Because you
Ooh.
are operating in love, light, joy, ease, peace, and flow. I yield the mic back.
It's like, that's why I said yesterday, I know people were laughing at me because I posted that on Facebook, but it's like there is nothing like sitting in a salon chair, laying, kicking back, eyes closed. Only thing I had to decide is what I wanted to watch on her TV. So I felt good having her do all the work. Okay.
yes, 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 yes,
I did.
yes.
And that made me feel good. I'm telling you that when I walked out there, I was feeling good because I knew I had taken time for myself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, and, and just in full transparency, the dress, the gown that I wore during the DR, I think I paid $30 for that on Temu. And when I say to you that was stunning, because
Mhm.
I make the dress. The dress doesn't
Yes.
make me. So when
There you
you
go.
when you
There you
walk in and you own, you don't have to. And even with my shoes, I'm not paying $600.
Oh,
I'm a home decorator, so if you're gonna get me in trouble, it's gonna be how my house looks. Because I love my house looking. But I'm
yeah.
still gonna do that. I still have a keen eye for the fabulous, and not it doesn't have to cost me. And
Yeah.
so you can, but you have to invest. So we're going to close out with this. Retreats can be particularly professionals for several reasons. One, professional development, mentorship and networking, work life balance, empowerment and
Hmm.
confidence, building a community, diverse perspectives. And that's the one thing we have to be. We have to be open minded. Stop
Yes.
being single minded. Stop being difficult to work with. Relax, tranquilla. chill out, because God is sending you people to help you. But if you don't know how to relax and allow them to help you, two, also a charge to the people that are going to help the leader. You are here to help the leader. Check your ego at the door. You're here to serve.
Hmm.
Just like the leader is to serve, iron sharpens iron. So we have to work together. We have to leave egos out the door, because egos destroy a multitude of things. So leave it out.
Yes.
Overall, retreats offer women professionals the opportunity to invest in themselves, connect with others, and gain valuable skills and perspectives that can enhance their professional and personal lives, because we call that the spillover effect. The spillover effect is very positive. Like I just did today. We spilled over terminology used in corporation into our own personal professional development, right? And now,
Hmm.
when we are
Hmm.
living a fulfilling life, that bubbly, exciting, ease, love, joy flow. I know I didn't say it like you, girl, but we spill that good attitude, that good energy into our workplace. So the spillover effect is positive when it's done the right way, when it's done and it's adding value. So, ladies, thank
Hmm.
you so very much. You know how to connect with Dr. Madeline. Connect with her on social media. She
All
has
right.
things that are always coming up. We always have something going on. So you want to follow us on our social media platforms. We are out there enough. All you got to do is Google us. I know, because I Googled these ladies. All you have to do is Google us and just find us and connect with us. And we want to help you to flourish. We want to help you to go to the next level. And we are down to earth. We keep it real. We are affordable. We're not going to make you go broke. We are coming to
There
add
you go.
value. We are coming to add value to you. So reach out to us, connect with us, see what we're doing, um, and just make sure that you retreat to refresh and reset. We
Reset.
love you so very much. Till next Thursday, we're out.